Hello dear friends, let's talk about problems of Mercedes C-Class W204. The third generation of Mercedes has eliminated the fast rusting stigma from Mercedes, which the former have been particularly prone to. Among the engines, the reliable and long-lived 2.1-liter CDI diesel is the favorite to recommend. The Mercedes-Benz C-Class W204 series, introduced in spring 2007, is well known as a luxury and status-used sedan, much better than its predecessor W203, known for its tragically poor anti-corrosion protection and rapid rusting of the edges of the fenders, doors and boot lid. This model was therefore worked on with special attention, so it is much closer to larger classes with much higher quality standards and design seriousness. A smaller redesign was made in 2011, so you won't find rust here, unless it was carambola so poorly repaired. And typical sore throats are very rare and mostly related to first-year models. If you buy one, it is better not to look and try the following. Shifting the automatic transmission in reverse should not be delayed. Otherwise, it is a software error. Shifting the manual transmission in the first and second gears and the reverse should go smoothly. Otherwise, the error is most often in the cable. And if from the engine compartment it hears a slight grinding sound, most likely a wedge belt guide. These are not costly malfunctions. The owner have so far solved them in service recalls or probably solved them themselves. But it is better to prevent them than to cure them. The problem is what Mercedes C-Class W204 is in many cases driven by people for whom such a car is above their realistic capabilities, so maintenance is poor or non-existent. This later gave rise to most of the problems, especially with specimens that often changed owners. As a rule, maintained specimens are in perfect condition, so it is wiser to pay a bit more for such a specimen when buying and to have a calmer sleep than to cry later. It is important to know that this C-Class withstands great mileage, and the quality of mechanics and workmanship hides it even better, especially when it comes to the 2.1-liter common rail diesel engines 200 CDI 136 horsepower and 220 CDI 170 horsepower. The difference in power comes from different maps with electronics and turbine pressures. And it is a proven and reliable diesel engine, albeit a bit rougher, but a real marathoner who effortlessly travels hundreds of thousands of kilometers. So much so that even the most experienced eye can hardly detect the actual mileage at first. So it is advisable to check the condition at an authorized service center. Mileage is recorded in several places in the car. The series from autumn 2008 to summer 2009 had sporadic problems with spoorer injectors, light water pump leaks, and loosening of chain tensioners. But this way initially resolved by a service recall, and there should be no problems. Gasoline are a real rarity in our market, and their supply is small, and the demand for them is almost non-existent. And although the C-Class hadn't been as well known as a driver sedan until then, the W204 took the first step in that direction. In fact, it could pleasantly surprise you. Don't forget to subscribe my channel, and if you're the owner of this car, then share your experience. It will help others to choose a car. Goodbye.